Oakland A's to improve to 56-20, which is still a pace that is one of the best in baseball history through 76 games. And the Yankees, like, really the thing for them, so many comeback wins. I think that's now 24. And in this series, look, against Oakland, you should win all three games. But still, to be down 5-1 in the first game, to be down 3-0 in the third game, and just to come back each and every single time, basically, is just really, really impressive. Just the mental strength of this team is what I find to be like the big reason why they have the record that they do. Maybe in years past, you go down by 4 and you fail to come back and you kind of go through the motions. But this team, it doesn't matter the opponent, it doesn't matter the situation. They hate to lose. And this, it's just now it's 9 sweeps on the season. Last year, altogether, 12. Whole season, 12. This year, already 9. And we're not even halfway through the season. So, really, really good stuff. The Yankees at home are fantastic. They are now at home 34-9, which is crazy. And beyond that, just some more statistics that come to mind. The Yanks are now 24-20 in games in which they have trailed at any point, which is by far the best in baseball. The next closest, I think, is the Dodgers, who have about a 400 winning percentage. They're about 20-27 approximately. That's just how far ahead the Yanks are to everyone else. Like, you're not supposed to have a winning record when you trail at any point in a game. And the Yankees are 24-20. So that is the stuff that is really, really impressive. Now, in this series, the starting pitching was not great in terms, and when I say starting pitching, I mean the regular starters. J.P. Sears did very well in a spot start, but Montgomery and Tyone did not do well, but I'll also give both of them credit that they were still able to stick around and give them innings and give them a chance to win. Montgomery, even more specifically, had a really rough 5-run third inning, but he was able to still go 6 2/3 and save the pen and give the Yankees a win. In the last game, Tyone, it was not looking good. Gave up 3 runs in the first, but he was able to then shut it down and go 5 innings and help the Yankees win the game. So the starters, not great, especially against a pretty, very, I should say, lackluster Oakland lineup. But still, they were able to provide enough length and enough effectiveness after their struggles to help the Yanks win the game. And the Yankees, the home run ball has been very, very vital. You look at the statistics in the league, and the Yankees just hit a lot of home runs. Not to say that they're completely dependent on the home run ball. They're stealing bases, really good base running, fundamental hitting. So it's not just that, but the Yankees are absolutely just mashing. Judge homers again in this series. Rizzo homers again in this series. Giancarlo Stanton now with 2 home runs in this series. He's up to 19 homers in the year. Stanton has been in a home run binge. And that's just the type of guy he is. Bit of a streaky hitter, but someone who Stanton has reached the point now. And look, this could change, but the vibe among Yankee fans is very positive towards Stanton. Look, just a few years ago, even less than that, I'd say, Giancarlo Stanton was not well liked by Yankee fans. Not for the person that he is, just the fact that he couldn't stay on the field. It felt like he wasn't necessarily living up to expectation. Now I think Giancarlo Stanton is definitely one of the more well-liked Yankees, which is not easy to do when you're not homegrown, when you're paid what he's paid. But Stanton is just, even when he struggles, it's not like, I guess that's more my point. Even when Stanton struggles, it's not like he's going to hear the boo birds. Like, it's past that point now. Now, look, if he struggles in the postseason, all bets are off. But, the Yankees have a really nice core in the middle of that lineup with Judge, Rizzo, Stanton, really hitting for some good power. DJ LeMahieu has been showing some signs of life. I like what I've seen from him at the top of the order, and I've been harsh on him, but I like what DJ's done. Donaldson, who is really struggling coming into the series, I thought he had a pretty good series, and you're getting contributions from the likes of Marlon Gonzalez, who I think deserves more playing time and has been getting some more playing time. I don't think he's like a long-term solution, But if it's between Marwin and Joey Gallo, give me Marwin all day long. And look, Marwin, if you want to give him some spot starts and short over Kiner-Falefa, that's fine as well. And Jose Trevino continues to come up with big hits. He did it again in this series. Trevino, who knows? Maybe he'll find himself in the All-Star game. Alejandro Kirk, definitely the best catcher in the American League, but could Trevino be the second best? Maybe, which is crazy to think about. But in game one, it would be Paul Blackburn versus Jordan Montgomery. And the one thing I'll say about Oakland is the starting rotation is not bad. Like, it's considering how bad their record is, their rotation is not the reason for that. They have a terrible bullpen and no offense at all. That's what it is. And the Yankees took advantage of that bullpen in game one. Blackburn pitched pretty well, but they were able to work up his pitch count, and the Yankees took advantage of a weak bullpen. In this game, Kiner-Falefa and Glaber would see the bench as they were really injured, but both were back by the end of the series. They're both fine now, but so Marwin Gonzalez was the shortstop, and it would lead to Joey Gallo being in the lineup. I guess would he have been in the lineup anyway? Maybe, but that's kind of the guy who benefited from the Glaber injury as Gallo sees the lineup and was awful again, but that's just nothing new there. But the Yankees do take an early lead. First inning would be an Anthony Rizzo home run, his 20th homer of the season. Rizzo, by the end of the game, we'll get into this, but he was hit on the elbow by A.J. Puck. And Rizzo would leave the game. However, he would play the next game, but he did not play the final game of the series. And I think that's more to do with the fact that, Oakland had lefty Cole Irvin on the mound, and why push it with Rizzo, with some important games coming up? No reason to do that. I think he's fine. But Rizzo does homer in the first inning. Then in the third is when Oakland gets all of their 5 runs, and it was a pretty ugly inning for Montgomery, as there is 2 outs, 2 on, and Ramon Laureano almost hits a 3-run homer. It goes at the top of the wall. It ends up being an RBI double. So that ties it up. And so you think, all right, Montgomery kind of escapes, but he can't take advantage of that near escape. He hits Sean Murphy on an 0-2 pitch. That wasn't good. And so now it's bases loaded, and you get a bases clearing double for Elvis Andrus. And Andrus had a pretty good series. The former Texas Ranger gives Oakland a 4-1 lead. And then Sheldon Noisy gives Oakland a 5-1 lead with an RBI single. So Montgomery, really bad third inning. He was able to recover, but that was not good. So it's 5-1. In the bottom of the fourth, though, Stanton gets it going. And Stanton lately, for me, he's been the one that kind of has been starting the offense. I guess the last game of the series, he more so, got the clincher. It wasn't the starter, but lately it's been a lot of home runs to kind of get the Yanks going, and he does it here. A mammoth home run for Giancarlo Stanton, his 18th homer of the year, cuts the lead to 5-2. Bottom of the fifth, 2-out rally, a walk for LeMahieu, steals second. That's what I'm talking about. LeMahieu, not a fast runner, but he finds a way he steals second, and it comes up big because Aaron Judge gets an RBI single, and it makes it 5-3. In the bottom of the seventh, I should mention the bottom of the sixth. Oakland bullpen comes on, and it's first and second, 1 out, and a really bad at-bat by Jose Trevino. Adam Oller was on for the A's, and he was not throwing strikes, not anywhere really near the strike zone. And Trevino on a 2-0 swings at an outside pitch, and just not smart there. Eventually he flies out, and then Marwin Gonzalez pops out. So Trevino, who I absolutely love, but it was a really bad at-bat by him, a little uncharacteristic. We go to the Albert Abreu finishes off the top of the seventh, and Abreu really, really pitched very well in this game. It was him the rest of the way. He ends up going 2 1/3 of scoreless ball, and that was a big outing for Abreu. We'll talk about the sort of pitching roster crunch. If Abreu didn't perform well here, there's a chance that they could have gotten rid of him. But Abreu, I'm a fan of Albert Abreu. He pitched well for the Yankees last year, and he showed it again in this one. But to get to the comeback and the big inning for the Yankees, they put together a 6-run inning. And the funny thing is, Joey Gallo gets 2 of the 3 outs of this inning. That's just the way it goes. But LeMahieu walks. It's an ugly rally. Adam Oller and then A.J. Puck And then Austin Pruitt. Three Oakland pitchers have some trouble. LeMahieu walks, and I like that DJ has been getting those walks lately. An underrated part of his game has been the patience. Aaron Judge reaches on a catcher's interference, makes it first and second. The lefty AJ Puck comes on, first pitch, he hits Anthony Rizzo. So now it's bases loaded, and then Giancarlo Stanton's up, and it's another catcher's interference on Sean Murphy, and it scores a run. LeMahieu scores, makes it 5-4. So think about that. A walk, catcher's interference, hit by pitch, catcher's interference. Ugly. Very ugly for Oakland. And then Josh Donaldson with the big blow. The former A on an 0-2 pitch off of AJ Puck gets a 2-run double. A big hit for Donaldson, gives the Yanks a 6-5 lead. They bring in the righty Austin Pruitt and Aaron Hicks, who... he's no longer in Joey Gallo territory, but there's a lot of reasons for that. Doesn't come through as they termed it a line out. I guess, to me, it was more of a fly out to shallow right. Hicks does not get the runner home, but Jose Trevino makes up for his bad at-bat before with a big-time 2-run double to give the Yanks an 8-5 lead. Then Marwin Gonzalez with an RBI single gives the Yanks a 9-5 lead. And that was it right there. So big hits by Donaldson, Trevino, Gonzalez. And that was all she wrote as Albert Abreu is able to finish it up. Really good job by Abreu. Like I said, 2 1/3, no hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. That is excellent. And with Matt Blake, Albert Abreu has all the ability in the world to really pitch well for this team. So we head to game 2, and JP Sears is up, and Sears is a guy who has done well at the major league level, certainly done well at the AAA level, and he's someone who he would be in a lot of starting rotations for other teams in this league. JP Sears is certainly a major league pitcher, but the Yankees have a lot of really good pitchers. To that point, they designated Manny Banuelos for assignment. My guess is that he will end up on another team. I would love for Banuelos to make it back to the Yanks. But I have a feeling he pitched pretty well. He's done well in spring training, did well in AAA, did pretty well at the majors. The numbers are pretty good. And I have a feeling that Banuelos will end up elsewhere. But if he comes back, that's just more pitching depth. So Banuelos, just a victim to the roster crunch. And so Sears is up. And JP Sears really does a good job as he goes 5 2/3 scoreless. So JP Sears, he's now 3-0. Which wins is a lot of luck, but still 3-0, 12 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball to start his major league career. And I like what I see from JP Sears. Only 1 strikeout in 5 2/3 innings. So that was low, but he wasn't hit particularly hard. And so when Sears' name has been called, he's come through, and I like the idea of him being on this team whenever that time might come. In this game, again, no Glaber. Connor Falefa returns from injury. And so no Glaber, again, kind of leads to Marwin Gonzalez and Joey Gallo in the lineup. Marwin in left, Gallo in right. And so, but Glaber would return, like I said, for that last game. Also, I should mention Giancarlo. The reason why Marwin and Gallo are in is because Torres is out and Giancarlo Stanton was not in the lineup. So no Stanton, no problem. But the pitching was the key to this victory. And the Yankees score a couple of runs early, 1 in the first, 1 in the second. In the first, a DJ LeMahieu walk, like I said, it's been a thing. And then Josh Donaldson, he barely gets a 2-run homer. It ends up being a double. So Donaldson with a double, and then Jose Trevino with a big RBI single in the first. LeMahieu scores, Donaldson is thrown out at home. And the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. So Trevino with the big hit, and the other sort of unlikely source, Marwin Gonzalez with a solo homer. He's been really good lately. Certainly, he's been good defensively all year, but now he's coming through offensively. And so it's Gonzalez's 3rd homer of the year. Makes it 2-0 Yankees. And Sears pitches into the 6th. Ron Marinaccio, that's another guy where they did not want to send Marinaccio down. So, Banuelos had no options. So you might lose Banuelos. You could have sent Marinaccio down, but he's been so good that you just can't do it. Marinaccio strikes out Laureano to finish off that 6th inning. In the 7th, Wandy Peralta comes on, leadoff walk, but then he gets a fly out and a strikeout. Michael King finishes up the inning by striking out Elvis Andrus. He also had pitched the 8th, and a scoreless 8th at that. So King really gets the job done, pitches 1 1/3 innings. And then Clay Holmes comes on, and gets 2 strikeouts to start the inning, but then things get dicey, and it's interesting. It's catcher's interference while Sean Murphy's up. Jose Trevino catcher's interference extends the inning. Stephen Vogt pinch hits for Stephen Piscotty, and Vogt would get a single to keep the inning alive. Elvis Andrus then gets an RBI single, so this game went from basically game over to now it's a nail-biter, and Tony Kemp is the batter, and Clay Holmes is able to get a ground out. Connor Falefa, a little bit of a shaky throw, but Rizzo, makes the catch, and the Yankees hold on to win 2-1. This was the first unearned run allowed by the Yankees. It was some crazy streak, 31 games or like some historical number. So that was kind of the one unfortunate thing, that the catcher's interference led to that ending of the streak. On the good side, though, it doesn't affect Clay Holmes' ERA, as Holmes' ERA is now below 0.5 because Clay Holmes would pitch in the last game as well. So let's go to the third game of the series where the Yankees get the sweep. And the Yankees win this one 5-3. And Clay Holmes pitches in this game, and that's unfortunate because now Holmes won't be available for the Astro game. But that's all right. Like, who knows how that game will go? This was a 2-run game. You can't get cute and you can't look ahead. You have to sort of play what's in front of you. And so Clay Holmes pitches a 1-2-3 ninth in this final game. His ERA drops to 0.49, just crazy. But in this one, like I said, no Anthony Rizzo in this lineup. And Marwin Gonzalez is in over Joey Gallo in right field. That's awesome. That's great. I mean, that's how it should be. Gallo will not play against lefties, barring just an emergency type situation. Because, again, Gallo has been an absolute disaster. So, Taillon, it was a really rough first inning for Jameson Taillon. Very much so. He almost gets out of the jam, but Stephen Piscotty gets a 2-run double, and then Elvis Andrus with an RBI single makes it 3-0 Oakland. But the Yankees always have that response. Like I said, they have to lead baseball in runs right after innings in which they've allowed runs. And so Aaron Judge, his 29th homer of the year, it's a 2-run homer, and that makes it 3-2 right there. So they cut it to 3-2 right there. Then the bottom of the third, LeMahieu involved again because LeMahieu singled in the first inning. Now LeMahieu singles, Judge walks, and with 2 outs, it's a Giancarlo Stanton 3-run homer, his 19th of the year, and that gives the Yankees a 5-3 lead, and that would be it. Taillon goes 5 innings. And here's where credit needs to be given to the depth of the bullpen. Lucas Licky pitches a 1-2-3 6th and 7th, and Licky is not someone who I really trust, but hey, he comes through there. And then Miguel Castro, a little bit of trouble. It's rare that Castro will give you a 1-2-3 inning, but Castro does get a couple of strikeouts. Bethancourt pinch hits and flies out, and so Castro avoids a little bit of trouble. And then in the 9th inning, Clay Holmes goes 1-2-3, and so the Yankees sweep the Oakland A's, improve to 56-20, and now they have a 1-game situation with the Houston Astros. Now, this is because of the fact that the first week of baseball was essentially delayed, so the Astros was part of that schedule. So now it's 1 game with the Astros, and eventually they'll have a doubleheader with the Astros right after the All-Star break. And so this is a pretty fun, important game coming off of the 4-game set this past weekend at the stadium. It'll be Luis Severino versus Luis Garcia. So Garcia was the one pitcher the Yankees did not see. Garcia's a pretty good pitcher, coming off of a pretty good outing against the Mets. And then Severino did well against the Astros, had one mistake, a 3-run homer to Kyle Tucker. So I'm very much looking forward to this. This starts a 10-game road trip, a long 10-game road trip as well. 1 with the Astros, 3 with the Cleveland Guardians, 2 with the Pirates, and then 4 with the Red Sox. So should be a pretty interesting road trip. But the Yankees continue to win 56-20, and I am looking forward to this Astro game, as well as what's to come after that as the Yankees hit the road.